So we'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Iman Badr, and I'm the Vice President of the Women Committee, and of course, Al-Noor Islam Center. And inshallah, bismillah, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Sister Islam. Sister Islam Bahlawi, she is a certified life and business coach for a decade. She's also a cognitive and behavioral therapist. She's also a trainer for individuals and corporations on an international scale, using strong tools such as neuro-linguistic programming, Enneagram, and many more. These years of practice have vested her with knowledge needed to deepen her experience. She created her own concept, which she had worked hard to put out as working projects that can help and address the needs of the Muslim community with respect for their principles, values, and beliefs. Please help me and welcome Sister Islam.
So do we start? We wait?
Okay, you get the floor.
Okay. So, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Rizlan Bahrawi. I am trainer, an educator, life coach, and therapist. I'm also mother and grandmother. I had dealt with all ages. So I have a confession to make. This will be an intensive seminar filled with a lot of emotions, a lot of introspection, and a lot of valuable information. But I really want to start with a story, my own. I was a dreamer. Once upon a time, I was a dreamer. I was dreaming to change the world and give some hope to the next generations. So I started studying political science. Had nothing to do with coaching, psychology. When I was about presenting my PhD thesis in political science, I had an awakening. I think about this verse 11 from Surah Al-Ra'd, Thunder, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says and said, Allah will never change the situation of nation unless they change themselves, within themselves. So I take it to heart to gather the knowledge and the tools to thrive my community, to seek the path of change, the path of Allah, to be the best version of ourselves. So I start studying positive psychology and coaching. Don't get me wrong, because political science will lead you somewhere, for sure. But it's not that easy. The path of change will be so long and filled with a lot of obstacles that only God can take them away. And so I really wanted a change that touch people here and now. And I want this change that starts by the base, the foundation, our home, our family, ourselves, our relationship with our kids, our partners. That's why I become a life coach and therapist. And also, when I'm talking about political science, how hard the change will be with like a researcher, or how hard it will be, I'm talking from experience. In my country, I was activist for 30 years old. And look at my country. There is still poverty. There is still unfairness, injustice, inequity, ignorance, as all our countries, the countries developed are. So, anyway, I told you, or not yet, I want to tell you that our seminar will last 2 hours and a half, around 2 hours and a half, depending on your enthusiasm and participation. And be assured, because I have planned 2 breaks. So let's sail away. This is the program of the seminar. What we will discover today. So I want to ask you if you relate to those kind of situation. It's getting harder and harder to communicate with our children. They do not listen. They do not care about their future, right? They do not take responsibility of their actions. They always lie about their religious duties. They spend too much time in video games, social media, phones, etc. Do you see yourself with your kids in some of those situations, or maybe all of them, right? So let me tell you, I came today bearing very good news for you, dear parents. Generational conflict is not inevitable. We can avoid this, and here is why. It's only matter about communication, how we talk to our kids, what we teach them, consciously and mostly unconsciously. Our kids are blank pages. You write what you may. In this story, you are the main author, but not the only one, right? So let's go back to the beginning, the source, the family. Family starts with us, parents, right? So let's discover ourselves, how we communicate with ourselves first, consciously and unconsciously again, right? So let's do an experiment so you can see for yourselves. Can I get 2 people here? Brave people? You are safe. You are in the house of Allah, right? So thank you so much. So maybe you can come here, please. Thank you. And yes, sister? Yes, please encourage them. Thank you so much. So can you, brother, introduce yourself to the group?
Just my name, or?
As you want. How do you feel it?
My name's Ihab. I'm a father of a 4-year-old girl.
Great. And you, sister?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Mohsina. That's my husband, and we have 14-year-old and 12-year-old. So we can totally relate to what you just told.
Thank you so much. So, brother Ihab, who are you? Who are you? I don't know you. I just know that you are a father of 4 kids.
I work as a coach as well.
Great.
But in the technical industry. Yeah. I moved here to Holly Springs a week ago.
No. Welcome.
Originally I'm from Egypt. And my wife is half Bosnian, half Jordanian. So there's always some conflict between me and her and understanding one another. Yeah, I can say no.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Can you tell us who are you?
I am. Where do I start? So I am.
I know it's hard to.
So I'm a physician. I'm not practicing medicine here, but I work as an IT analyst. So, and my husband is an engineer. Both of us are from India. So, what more do you think?
Okay, so thank you so much. You can go back to your place. You know what happened here? Brother Ahmed and our sister introduce us to their life they are living in, not to who they are in this life. Do you understand what I mean? You are not what you have or what you do. You are more valuable than what you have or what you do. Let's take, for example, $100. If I smash it, I walk on it with my dirty shoes, it will be the same value, $100, right? If you lose everything, your family, your job, your knowledge, everything, you still the same ihab. Don't forget it, please. It's for your safety, your mental health. You know, I would ask all the audience today. I am not waiting for any answer. It's just to make some hurricane coming in your brain, right? So who are you guys? Who are you? Who are you without your diploma or your fatherhood or motherhood or whatever?
I'm a human.
Yes, sure.
I'm a human.
You are a human being.
I'm a Muslim.
Yes, 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 thank you. And you are so valuable because of the soul you are bearing. The soul is breathed from Allah. It makes the value that you have, the value that you are, right? And it's very important to be aware about how we are functioning, right? So, do you really think you are what you think you are? That's why when we go deep to reconnect with ourselves, to know ourselves, we will never fear, because when you know yourself, you know your Creator, the Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is nothing to fear from, right? So, to really communicate with ourselves and to know ourselves, it needs some self-awareness, right? We just recognize this right now, right? So, how do we start learning? And when we start learning? How do we learn? And when we start learning? Can you answer this question for me? I know you are a physician. I think you will have some of the answers.
You think you're exploring the new things?
When we start learning? When? In?
When we are born.
When we are born? Is anyone had another answer? Yes?
Even before you're born.
Yes. When exactly?
Like in the womb,
Yes.
you start learning to understand your mother's voice, or
How?
how?
Yes.
Listening, hearing.
How we are gathering the
You
information.
have senses, and you're receiving.
You're right. You just answered the two questions, both questions. We start learn when we are still fetus at the 3rd month, and we gather the information with our senses, right? But our senses are so limited. There is a threshold. Every sense has a threshold that it can never exceed it. And it distorts the information we get, right? Because of this limit. Sometimes you heard something and you think that it's what you heard, but you figure out after that it's not. Or you actually we always seeing what we want to see, right? So those senses are the way we gather the information is uniquely ours. It's uniquely yours. So, you know, there is an absolute truth, right? And of course, the perceived one. No one can pretend having the absolute truth. You know why? Because we are all biased because of our senses and their limits. And how the experience of life we are having with our senses, right? I'm going to give you example from my background. I am from the capital of Morocco, Rabat, and I was married to another town in the north of the country. And our, how to say that, the way how we welcome the guests coming in our house is so different from Rabat to Tangier, even the same country. So I used to, when in our family and in Rabat, when you receive a guest, the first thing to do is to welcome this person with the trail of tea. When I went to Tangier, I did the same, and I feel that people feel uncomfortable and unwelcoming. I asked my mother-in-law, and she said, because you give them the tea in the beginning. When you give the tea in the beginning, it means that you want them to go back home. You see how the perception is too different. For something very little can cause very big families issues and problems. So it's like if you are drawing the map of North Carolina. It's not the physical North Carolina, right? It's just representation. So how you introduce yourself is exactly the way how you see the world around you. And it's only representation of the world. The map is not the territory, right? Everyone has his own map in his mind to represent the world around you. Even if we are brothers or sisters from the same family, twins, even if we are twins, we haven't the same map of our world, the same representation. Our filters are different. Let me give you an example to make it more easier to be perceived. We are all Muslim in here, right? If someone was to offer me piece of ham, telling me how delicious it is, I will be for sure disgusted just by the thought of it. You know why? Because all my life I was raised that pork is forbidden and disgusting too. But if we have a new Muslim here with us that haven't the same background as we are, it will be a sacrifice, a temptation to give up it, right? It's not the same. So yes, the map is not the territory. And once again, I want to, what we just did is like it's a brain process, how our brain is processing. Actually, brain process need more detailing and more practice. That's what I offer in others workshops that you are invited to consider if you want, if you are interested in. But let me give you, or let's make an experiment together to see for ourselves, right? Look at this picture and tell me please what you are seeing here. What you are seeing? Girl? A lady? Younger? Is it younger? Are you sure?
Young boy with a hoodie.
What?
Young boy wearing a hoodie.
Okay. Young? Who sees something else? Or something other than young? Lady. I see old lady actually. What do you think? Who can see the old lady here? All of you are seeing young lady? Huh? Excuse me? You see an old, so come back to the stage again. And he's your husband, right? Yeah. No, your husband is, you are seeing the young lady, right?
Yeah.
Great, so come in.
No, I see the old lady.
You see the old? I don't want you. She's old. You see the old? You see the old?
No.
The young?
Yeah.
Okay, the young, that's so great. Can you convince your wife that she is young lady?
That's what I told you just now. I cannot.
We cannot convince her, he's agreeing with her.
You are agreeing with her? I don't want you. I want someone that's hardly seeing the young lady, please. You are seeing the young one?
Yeah.
Okay, so please convince this woman that she's young, right?
What I see that is on sideways, like the small nose in that one for me looks like the young perspective. If you look at the front, the jaw, then it looks like old age. But you look at the nose, I see that like young. That's my perspective.
Did he convince you? Did you see the? No, of course, me neither. Who can convince this lady that this is, oh, I'm sorry, that this lady is young? Brother, sister, any volunteer? Yes, Ilham, come this here, come here.
I see a young
want to edit with the curly hair on the top. It's like she's covering her head with something, and the curly thing I see it as a curly hair. She has a very and under it is her eyes, her nose, and she has a necklace.
Yes.
And this is kind of wearing like a fur or something.
Yeah, for wood, right?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Did she convince you? Can you see
What I
it?
would want to see is, if we are talking about 1920s, if you are talking about that age, maybe I can see what you are saying. But usually, those pearl necklaces are worn by older ladies. Again, my perception, how I have seen, and then the hair, they are not nicely made up. So I'm thinking, old lady, gray hair, right? So that's how I'm seeing it. So am I?
But you are not seeing the young.
The young lady.
No.
Yes.
Okay. I want. Yes, brother. Can you come? Yes. You come here. Convince her, please. Thank you, Ina. Convince her, please.
Well, basically, she has well-defined features, and the skin is stretched, no wrinkles, and that's if she's old, probably will have wrinkles around the eye, the angle of the mouth, the nose, but probably she's young because she doesn't show any wrinkles.
If her face was in the front, I would have agreed with you, but
No,
she didn't
the
put it,
eyes,
right?
like if you have
No,
like
but
eye
she's
wrinkles,
like this. You cannot see the wrinkles.
the eye wrinkles, no, the eye wrinkles show by the side. Like the eye wrinkles go this way, the mouth wrinkles will go this way, the jaw, and handy skin.
Yeah, that's
Like the mandible and the neck will be like kind of like wrinkled.
No.
I am convinced, but the women we cannot convince.
No, it's not that you cannot convince her.
right.
Let me tell you something. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Yes, go ahead.
My question is, when you say it is a young versus old, how you define the young and the old?
Great question. Ask her.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Again, it's probably my perception that wearing
No, not
beaded
really.
necklace.
Not like that. Where you draw the line that this is old, this side and this side is old.
Young.
Young.
Right.
How? He said how.
What makes you think she's old?
Just like again, looking from the physical science of aging or senility, like
That's
gray
exactly.
hair or like he's mentioned, wrinkled hair or wrinkled skin, gray hair, and
No, I think first from the representative, you need to know the
Right.
criteria of the young and the criteria of the old. Because you cannot say that 30-year age is an old, it is young, or it can be old, depending on how that
Right.
person.
You are born itself, how old are you? You started the world, 1 year old.
Okay, so I think that's the missing point.
Okay. There is no missing point because there is two women.
How young are you?
There is two women in this picture, not one. So there is no missing point.
Okay, what?
Two faces. Can you see the two faces? Can you see the two faces? There is two faces there. And this is how our perception can get it wrong. And how, thank you, sister, they can convince you. You know why they can convince you? It's not because your perception is wrong. There is no wrong perception. It's just how we perceive the world. It's just that when we want to make our perception large, the frame of our perception large, we need to put ourselves in the shoes of others. So what our sister is saying, that you are saying the old woman, right? Show me, where is the old woman here? Where is the old woman here? What are you seeing? So people can see with your eyes. There is a song, Tunisian song, saying, قالوا لي واش عجبك فيها؟ قلت لهم خذوا عيني شوفوا بيها. They said, what did you like on her? The singer answered, you can take my eyes and see with them. So let's take our sister eyes and see with them. You understand what I mean? Not literally, of course. So what are you seeing? Where is the old woman, sister?
So how I'm sending is there.
Where is the eyes? Show you how we can be in opposite situation, but we are in the same picture. Even if it looks like contradictory, it's the same picture. And there is old and young women together in the same picture. You cannot see it? Okay, let me. I should make it, but I haven't in my presentation.
You can use the pointer to.
Yes, okay, let's see. You know, here, you see, this is the young lady. Here, okay? Her eyes, her hair, her eyes, her nose, the chin, right? The old lady is, this ear is the eyes of the old lady. And this chin is a big nose. This is part of her second eye. And this is like some issue she had in her nose, a big nose. Right? This is the nose. And this is the mouth. The mouth is the necklace. Can you see the... Whatever you want.
That's from your perspective.
You know, there is a very wise man that have three students, and they was coming out from the mosque and they find snake. The wise man killed the snake. First student said, "Oh, master, why did you kill the student? The snake. It's part of the cycle of the life, and it's not good what you did." The wise man said, "Yes, you're right." The second student said, "What are you seeing, man? It's gonna kill us if we don't kill him. So we need to kill it. It's good what you did, master." And the wise man said, "Yes, you're right." Third student said, "What's this? I'm really confused. You said for the first one, he's right, and for the second one, that he's right too, and it's really confusing." He said, "Yes, you're right." So Did you understand this story? It's about perception. We cannot make wrong the perception of someone, because it's his belief or her beliefs. It's how they are seeing the world. So perception cannot be discussed. We cannot discuss the perceptions of others or the beliefs of others, right? So this was a demonstration of different perception with all those examples and the picture. Wow, I see how it's hard to be in the shoes of others, right? With this, I conclude our first part of the seminar. And I believe that, yes, you didn't have them yet, but here in this table you have an assessment that I want to ask you to take it, please, and in the break time after Salat al-Dhuhr. And we will go and see what you did in this assessment in the end of our seminar. So please go and take the assessment. We're done for the first part of our seminary, and we can come back after Salat al-Dhuhr, inshallah. Thank you.